So I was inclined to think about this next topic here because there's been an ongoing argument for maybe the past 4 or 5 days in my Twitter notifications with these vegan people and some people that I follow and that follow me. And I'm in the notifications because I jumped in there at one point I saw the vegans trying to insult people based on their appearance. So, being the jerk that I am, I jumped in there just to roast them a little bit, and I thought that was funny and entertaining to me. So, the following is going to be a criticism of behavior, because I think a lot of people try really hard to pass off this idea of being logical, being rational. And that's all well and good. But the problem is that human beings aren't generally rational creatures. Now, if you think that behavior doesn't matter, I want you to go to work or go into any place of business and just start randomly being rude. Just start randomly telling people that they're garbage and that you're better than them. And see how long before you get fired or before you get thrown out of that place of business. And then you can come back and tell me that behavior doesn't matter at all. Now, we may not always agree with what is considered acceptable and unacceptable behavior, but at least we can set a foundation and say that there is a level that society considers acceptable and more often than not considers not acceptable. So, I have nothing against the concept of being a vegan or veganism or, the diet or the idea that we should be kind to animals. I think those are all fine things. So this isn't a criticism of any kind of dietary choice. It has nothing to do with that. This is just a broader discussion about the way that we treat people and the way people treat us, and the way that causes us to perceive them, and in turn, the decisions we make in regards to those situations. So if you're somebody that is trying to convince someone that your lifestyle is a good thing and something that they should be following as well, the last thing that you want to do is go into that situation telling them that by default, you are a morally superior individual. You are a better person merely because you have made this choice for yourself, and it puts you above them somehow. Because the first reaction you're going to get from people, I don't know what planet you're from where you think this is going to work, but the first reaction that you get from people is that they're going to dig their heels in. They're going to say, no, hell no, you're not better than I am. My way is perfectly fine. Eat a dick. What did you expect? Did you expect them to lay down and say, oh, you're right, you're the king, you're better than me, I should live life your way? That's not how this works. Because if you're going to be a jerk to somebody, they're not going to respond to you kindly. Again, you may be right on a rational or logical level, but if you're doing it in a way that makes somebody feel as though they are lower, chances are they're not going to listen to you because they're going to have an emotional response, which is pretty damn normal. Now, we can pretend we're these bastions of logic and reason all we want, but if somebody is rude to you, usually your first inclination is to be rude in turn. You don't treat somebody nice who's not being nice to you. That's just common sense. There's no reason to show somebody respect if they don't show you any respect. I don't think that's a very controversial idea, but yet some people want to pretend like their behavior has no effect and that they can do whatever they want and that nobody can say anything in return, or they're just being irrational, they're just being whiners, they're just being emotional. And I understand that to an extent you have to kind of take what strangers say with a grain of salt and not allow yourself to be so insulted by them. I'm a pretty big advocate for not allowing strangers on the internet to get to you. But what I'm saying is that ultimately, if you have a way of life that you want to try to convert people over because you believe it will be best for society and for the world, then what you need to do is you just need to live by example. You need to follow your own standard and hope that by showing people that your lifestyle is a good thing, that they will see that and they will think, oh, maybe this person is onto something. Maybe that's something I want to try. Maybe that's something I want to do. But if the first thing you do is go around calling everybody a piece of garbage and telling them that they're beneath you, there is nobody in the world that's going to look at that and think, oh, I want to be just like that person, because you're being a dick. And this is what so many people don't seem to understand. There's a time and a place for being a dick or making rude jokes and comments. That's all fine. I, of course, have no issue with that because I do it sometimes. It all depends on how a person approaches me. If somebody approaches me in a civil manner, even if they disagree with me, I can be civil with them in return. But if somebody approaches me and starts telling me all these things that I don't believe applies to my character, and they do it in a manner that is blunt and rude, then of course the gloves are off and I'm going to give them the same kind of treatment in return. You can't just pretend that you're automatically a better person by default because you know nothing about the person that you're approaching, because they're a random stranger on the internet that you probably only know very little about through their social media timeline or their YouTube video or something like that. But people want to look at these things and pretend they've got you all figured out. And I think that really has to do with the fact that so much of our lives is shared on social media that people begin to think that they can know the entirety of somebody's life just from a page. And so, sometimes there is something to be said for that, because there are people that overshare, so you can get a better idea of somebody's character. But there are a lot of people that just put certain ideas online or certain aspects of their life, and there's a whole other world to them that you don't know about. I'm not even necessarily saying that there aren't ways of life that are objectively better than others, because there definitely are. But treating somebody as though they are lesser because of their way of life isn't going to convince them that their way of life is not as good or not as valuable as the one you were living. You have to try to convince somebody just by showing them what your way of life constitutes and how it's beneficial, instead of just using their way against them as an insult and ammunition to show why you are superior. Because in the end, then it's not about any kind of dietary choice or lifestyle choice. Then it's really just about you trying to prove that you are superior to other people on the internet. So, my ultimate point here is that you can never convert someone to your way of life if all you want to do is act as though your way of life makes you better than everybody else. Thanks for listening.